Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in today to Choppa History, brought to you by Indian Motorcycles and La Tigers. Big shout out to Indian and La Tigers for sponsoring this and keeping it going. So make sure you guys share our videos, comment, as well as like all of our stuff, because the more we get that, the better our views, so that we can keep doing this. So we kind of had some things going on in the shop this week, so we didn't get a guest for today. And also, DP is traveling, so he is on his way to the Smokeout. If any of you guys are in the North Carolina area, let me find the banner. This is on Saturday. DP is having a Perowitz sort of paint show alongside with the old school show that's going on at the Smokeout. So if you guys have a custom paint job and you're in the North Carolina, the Salisbury area this weekend, make sure you go out to it. Even if you don't have a custom paint job, go check out the Smokeout this weekend. DP and a bunch of his buddies are on a guys weekend at the Smokeout. So, like I said, if any of you guys are in this area, make sure you go out to Smokeout. This should be a really good event. People keep asking how come I'm not going, and to be completely honest, I really didn't want to go. Just because we travel so much, that it's nice to be home. So also, I am leaving on Wednesday to go to the motorcycle chase. So this is the cross country ride that goes from Illinois to Santa Monica on Route 66. We there's about 100 of us that will be riding on this. And then we have our event the week that I get back. And then 2 weeks later is Sons of Speed. And then a week and a half after that is the High Seas Rally. So we got a lot going on in the next month and a half, 2 months. So honestly, I was like, if I can have a weekend at home, I'll stay home. So I thought today we can do, because one of my buddies was actually just here and he was asking me questions about the chase. So I thought, what the heck? People don't necessarily know about it. So if any of you guys have questions about the chase or the Sons of Speed, ask away, comment. So I got a bunch already on my phone that I thought, and I see there's a couple over here already as well. So let's get to some of these. So William Joseph, let's see, how should I approach my hooligan flat track build? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I would assume you're building a flat track hooligan bike. The flat track hooligan stuff is mostly Sportsters. So I would get a light set of wheels, some good suspension, um, build a Sportster, because hooligan stuff is just backyard racing. So what the heck? If you can ride good, it doesn't matter, motor wise, or at least I feel that way. Let's see. Jeff Zeller, morning from Wisconsin. Jeremiah, how is Sports to Chopper coming along? So that's DP's build that he's been restoring an old iron head that he had a long time ago. He has actually been tinkering away at that bike. His goal is to have it done for the High Seas Rally. I'm not sure, to be honest, if it will be. It's looking pretty good though. So he posts videos. If any of you guys are on Instagram, make sure you follow him on Instagram. It's D Perowitz. He is constantly posting videos on his Instagram with that. So if any of you guys want to follow along, go over to Instagram. And my Instagram is Jody Perowitz on Instagram. But let me get to a couple of these questions. Hold on, let me pull them up. So I got let's see, I'm on my Instagram actually right now. So here's the questions if any of you guys. So Charles, CC Harley Davidson, what is your favorite racing and why? That is a really tough question. I would say I love old bikes. but I would have to say Bonneville. Bonneville is so cool. It is just a humbling place. I'm truly honored to be able to say that I have raced on the Bonneville Salt Flats as well as I have 16 records. So, Charles, I would say land speed racing where it's go fast, the noise. Oh, it's just that's probably my favorite because of the racing aspect of it. Whereas this other stuff I do, I love it because it's old bikes and I love old bikes. So, in a racing aspect, Bonneville, in a bike aspect, like Sons of Speed, the Chase, the Cannonball, that kind of stuff. Another question, how do you get involved in Sons of Speed? So, me personally, I was very fortunate. I was at the right place at the right time. Curtis Venable um, built a bike for Rhett Rotten to ride in Sons of Speed in the very first one. And I happened to be there and met Curtis and said, "Boy, I would love to ride one of these bikes." And he's like, "Okay, I'll have one built for you." And I hate to say it, but it was as simple as that. Um, he built a bike that I rode for several years, and the rest is history in my case. Um, Unfortunately, fortunately, Curtis decided he doesn't want to race anymore. So he kind of stopped with Sons of Speed. So I was able to get on another team, which Comp D, Competition Distributing, Sean Jackson and Tom Banks, who have become my really good friends, asked me, "Hey, you want to be on our team?" And like I said, they're my really good friends, so I was all over that. Um, and then a couple guys from Kansas decided that they have a 1930 Indian that actually it's a 1929, and in 1930 the Indian won the state championship. So it was a champion bike, and they restored it and decided that they want somebody to race it 90 years later, 90 plus years later. So they asked me to ride that. So that's what I'm going to be riding in October. So it's a 1929 Indian. I'm going to be in the stock 45 class. And just to say that I'm racing a championship bike 90 years later is pretty cool. And I'm going to try like hell to bring home a checkered flag for them because that would be even cooler. That would be the icing on the cake as far as I'm concerned. I would be ecstatic. So I'm gonna try. And also, uh, unfortunately, Tom Banks slipped and fell and busted his shoulder, which is honestly as much of a bummer to me as it is to him because he is my sidekick on these long rides. Him and I ride the same bike, like we work together, and now he's not going to be able to do it for a little while. So he asked me if I wanted to ride his single in Sons of Speed. So his single, which he has won twice on, so I'm going to have to hold that championship on his single, and I'm gonna give it hell on that as well. So if any of you guys are in Daytona in October for Biketoberfest, make sure you come out to Sons of Speed, which is on the Saturday. I believe it's the 15th. Yeah, it's October 15th. That's Sons of Speed racing. Come on out. So I'll be on a 1929 Indian and Palm single. So I'm going to be racing in two classes with Comp D Racing. And also they have sponsored me for the Chase. Let's see. So another question was Route 66 starts near Chicago. Why not stop there? So that's a really good question. So we're starting in Springfield, Illinois, because of traffic. So if any of you guys ride old bikes, you know how hot these bikes get, and they do not like the heat. So we are starting a little bit south of Chicago, and so that we kind of skip the city and skip traffic. Because like I said, these bikes, not only they get hot, they don't like the heat, they can be tricky to ride with, a foot clutch and a tank shift, no front brake. it's a lot going on. We got to follow a map, literally a scroll map on this. So I think it was a wise decision to not start in Chicago. Um, let's see. William, any recommendations for flat tracks around our area? I don't know. To be honest, I'm not very flat track savvy. I know there's one in New Hampshire, um, but I don't even have any recommendations for you because I'm not really in that bubble, so to speak. Um, let's see, Jeremiah, I can't wait to see it when it's finished. So you mean DP's Iron Head. I would love to take a picture of my bike and the one that he made me want a Harley. That made me want a Harley together in a picture so I could frame it and hang it. So ride your bike down here, Jeremiah. I think you're local. So ride it down here with DP. So next summer, you should ride it down here, one of our bike nights, and we can take a picture. Nancy, thanks for rooting for me. I'm gonna try like hell to make it the whole way, as well as I slightly maybe have a chance to win because I'm on a 1936 and it goes from 30 to 60. So the older the bike, the more handicap you get. So being a 36, there's not too many bikes that are older. But I know there's a couple. One of them being Dave from North Dakota, Dave Curria. He won the Cannonball on a single, first single to win. And I know he's out there to win. So he's the one I got to beat, but we'll see. Let's see. Do you know how many revolutions it takes a 21-inch wheel to go a mile? Is this a math question? I have no idea. Not a clue. And I wish I knew who said that because all it says on my thing is Facebook user. So wish I could call you out, but I'm not sure. I hope you answer this. Jeff Sella, that was my question. Good answer on the Chicago traffic. Jeremiah, yeah, from West Point. Okay, that's what I thought you were local. Let's see. Some more. Linnea, what's up? So Linnea runs the Bonneville Motorcycle Speed Trials, which is what I was just talking about. The Salt Flats, which is just the coolest place. Let's see, Doug Francie, best of luck. Hi, Milt. Oh, Gary, 50 minutes out. So are you going to the smokeout, Gary? I'm assuming that's what you mean. So hopefully you're going to the smokeout. Like I said earlier, if any of you guys are in the North Carolina area, go on out there because that's where DP is this weekend. Okay, so Alicia, thank you for the patches. I actually got the other one sewn on my saddlebag. So, and I have, you guys can't see it because it's opposite, but I have on my wall, I have all like cool notes that people wrote me. So Alicia, your note is hanging up in front of me, along with those are more notes all on that pegboard from people, good lucks and all that. So anyway, let's see. What are the rules for the cross country chase, similar to the cannonball? So okay, this is the difference between the chase and the cannonball. So the chase is 1930 to 1960 motorcycles. It's only you and your motorcycle. So we don't have a crew. We don't have anybody following us. We have to carry everything that we need. We have to fix what we have ourselves. The other riders can help you, but that's it pretty much. So you got to be able to, know what you're doing because in the end, it is a race still. So the rules are pretty much what I said. So that's for the chase, which is I'm leaving next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday for that. And we're riding Route 66. So it's usually a shorter route, but every day we do more miles than we do on the cannonball. So then the cannonball is pre 1929. So it's a lot older motorcycles. And you can have a crew with you for the end of the day or the beginning of the day. So every day you have to get from A to B on your own. And then once you get there, your crew can help you with your bike, go over your bike, get it ready for the next day. Whereas, like I said, the chase, we're on our own. So right now, I'm actually packing my bags because tomorrow I have to drive to Albany with my bike to drop it off to get it to Springfield. So I'm packing my saddlebags right now with tools, with spare pots, my rain gear, my boots, that kind of stuff, because we have to carry anything that we need. And something else that you kind of have to think about is these bikes are old. So you can only pack so much. I don't want 300 pounds of weight on my motorcycle because they're struggling to a point as it is. So you got to be really wise. So not for nothing, I'll probably bring like 3 pairs of jeans and just rotate them. Maybe I'll be lucky to get a wash machine in between. But to be honest, I get pretty oily and dirty on this ride. So most likely I will bring 3 old pairs of pants, and usually 1 or 2 of them just get thrown away, because they get so oily. I mean, so my bike is in a 1936 Harley Davidson VLH, which is an 80-inch big twin, an 80-inch flathead. And what is unique about 1936 is it's the last year of the V, and it's also the first year of the 80-inch. So 36 is the only year that the V was made in an 80-inch, and then in 37 it changed to a U. So the difference between a V and a U is the V is a total loss oil system. So when I say total loss, in other words, I don't have an oil filter. It's not constantly sucking from the oil tank and pumping oil into it. When I stop for gas, I drop the oil. So I drain the oil out of the motor, and then I pump new oil back into the motor. So the average or the amount of oil that I want in the motor is between 4 and 6 ounces. So that's another reason why you drop the oil, is because it's not necessarily 100% accurate. So you want to constantly have 4 to 6 ounces. So sometimes I'll drop the oil and there'll be 8 ounces, and that's a little too much. So it's good that I'm starting over and getting new oil. Um, but in that sense too, it just kind of drains out. So the nickname for the VL is very leaky. And so that's why I said when I say that I get greasy and dirty, I get greasy and dirty. The U, when they changed to the U, it's a recirculating oil system. So you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to drop the oil. So like the J's, which is what I've ridden on the Cannonball, those you have to drop the oil because those are a total loss system as well. So there's so much to this stuff. Like I could go on and on and on. Another question: do you have to work on your own bike without outside help? Yes. So, like I said, you can get other riders to help you, which I have used many times. I will be completely honest. Um, Not anything catastrophic, knock on wood, but just little things. It's more or less, in my case, it was like advice. So I do use the other riders because a lot of them are a lot older than me and a lot wiser with the antique world. And this bubble of antique stuff, you have to learn it kind of firsthand, or you have to learn it from somebody that has been in this world. It's not really something that you can Google. Um, so it is a whole different beast as far as knowledge is concerned. And the more I ride these old bikes, the more knowledge I get, and I love it. I love these old bikes. um all right, so Alicia says, that's a good point, didn't think about the weight on the bike with gear too. Yeah, so I so like I said, I have saddlebags on my bike that I put tools and pots, and I'll stuff my rain gear and probably a jacket in my saddlebags. And then I have a bag that sits on the back seat that has like my clothes and that stuff in it. So it kind of keeps it separate. But I still have to carry all that. I have a spare battery. Like I'm trying to think of what I already put in my bike. So, zip ties. I have a whole toolkit. Duct tape. As silly as that sound, I have a strap in there. I have a couple bungee cords. Just anything because you've got to be resourceful should you break down and you don't have something, you gotta make something else work to keep going because you do not want to get picked up by the sweeper truck, which we call the Grim Reaper. If you see the sweeper truck and you're broke down, boy. So if you do break down, you have to, if they give you a certain amount of time, like, if they think you can fix it in a time, they'll usually wait, but most likely they'll give you 15-20 minutes. If you haven't gotten it ready to go, they make you get on. And that's with the Chase and the Cannonball. And a couple of times on the on the Cannonball last September, I broke down. I broke my chain several times. It just broke down with stuff, and the sweeper truck caught up to me, and I was sweating it big time, scrambling to try to get it fixed. And fortunately, I fixed it every time except the last time, and got back on the road and kept going. But then you got to hustle to get caught back up with everybody. So let me go over to Facebook and see what let's see if people posted over there some questions about. Yikes, you guys, there's a lot of questions. I have 52 comments. All right, let's see. What we have. Let's see. That's not it. Let's see. How do you get your bike to the starting city? So that's we trailer them. Some guys ride as well on between the Chase and the Cannonball. They ride to the start. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time. I'm already going to be gone 2 weeks, and we got a lot going on here. Hence, a little bit why I also didn't go to the smokeout this weekend with my dad. But I don't have the time to ride to the start line. And you got to remember too, is these old bikes, we're only riding on back roads. There's no highways. So it's not like I can just get on 90 and head west. I can't, you can't do that on a 1936. Also at the end of each stage, you allowed to tear down the engine like the pro stock motorcycles. Yes, that's a good question. So at the end of both the Cannonball and the Chase, if you need to tear down your motor and rebuild it, all the power to you. Go for it. And there is a bunch of people that do end up having to do that. Whether, something happens during the day and they end up having to get picked up by the Grim Reaper, or they milk it to the end and then have to rebuild it. So you figure they will have about 12 hours, because by the time we get in and then the start the next day is about 12 hours. So there is several guys that a couple of them actually on my team, Comp D, that have pulled the all-nighters to get their stuff back on the road for the next day. So whatever you do when you get to stop to get back in it for the next day, you go, you do it. Let's see. Another question. Do you guys follow a map or GPS? So we have maps, which let me see. I can show you guys exactly what the maps are. So I saved all these, which these are from the Cannonball. So I'll show you. That's it's the same thing for the Cannonball and the Chase. So just to show you. So this is what we get every morning, a half an hour ahead of time, half an hour before we are set to leave. So we can't leave before a certain time, and we have to be in by a certain time. So you get, like, let's say I'm usually in class 2 or 3. So I leave by 7:30 a.m. I can't leave before then. And I have to be in by 5 p.m. So you have that window to get from A to B. So then this is the map that you get a half an hour ahead of time. So like that's where we started, Great Wolf Lodge. And see, there's the departure times. So I was in class 2, so I had to leave. I couldn't leave before 8 a.m. And then as you can see, this, and then see, like I wrote, like if I didn't get gas the day before, I'll write on this like get gas. That's why I wrote gas. And then so this is what we have to follow. And then I don't know what I wrote, what that says. Oh, closed. Sorry, I have the worst handwriting. But so that's why I probably wrote gas up here to get it there, because this gas stop was closed. And then see, it says next refueling 60 miles. So that's another thing that I just packed in my saddlebag is I have a can that holds about a gallon of gas. So I'll fill that and put it in my saddlebag. So should I run out of gas, I have a backup, because my bike, I just Monday did a ride on it to get a feel for how much gas I can go, and I went 96 miles. So that's actually really good. So that's about how far I can go on a tank of gas. But so here's the the maps that we have to follow. So this is what we get, and like as you can see how long this is, and we put it in a little box. And it's literally, you turn the little wheels, and this is what we have to follow. So not only you have to ride these old bikes, maintain them, but you have to follow this map. And also, if you get lost, you can't use your GPS. You can't like pull your phone out and say, oh, if I just take a left and a right, I'll be back on course, because there's checkpoints and you don't know where the checkpoints are. And if you miss a checkpoint, then you get penalized in points. So you have to get back on this map. And a bunch of times I've been on this and I have thought, like, we just went in a circle. So we do kind of go in circles sometimes. So there's so many different challenges to this. Let's see. What is the average mileage of the chase per day? That's a very good question. So I just looked at where we got to go every day, our route, so to speak. Anyway, and it seems that the average is around between 250 and 300. I think 320 is our longest day, which that doesn't quite sound like a lot, but when you're on a 1936 and you're only going 40 miles an hour, it's a long day. Like when we leave, we stop to get gas. We have to get gas every 100 miles. So we're stopping, even if you're fast getting gas, you're still 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It takes all day. It literally takes all day. And we don't stop. Like, we don't waste that time getting lunch. We eat some beef jerky at a gas station and keep going. So it takes us all day to go 300 miles. And even if we could go fast, you can't, because we're on back roads. When we get out west, a lot of the back roads, they're not necessarily like back roads as in like New England back roads. They're just straight roads that are 2 lanes. So those you can cruise, at 50 miles an hour if you can go that fast. But it still takes a while. We're not on highways going 80, 90 miles an hour. So 300 miles takes us a while. Do the bikes have to be stock? That's a good question as well. So for the Cannonball and the Chase, they have to be stock, but they can have updated safety things. So, better brakes. So we will have better brakes. So this is actually an issue that we are addressing, myself and Sean and Tom and George, the 4 of us. We're all riding singles. We're all riding pre-1913 motorcycles on the Cannonball next year, and brakes are a big issue because those bikes have such minimal brakes. So Sean is kind of developing some disc brakes for us on those bikes so we can have better stopping. So you can update the brakes, as well as the wheels. So these old bikes have clinches, which essentially the wheel clinches the tire. I am not a fan of them. They make me nervous, to be honest. So we changed them all to drop centers. So to just traditional wheels where, the tire is on there traditionally, whether it's with a tube, which most of them all have tubes. So you can update safety. As far as putting a turbo on an old bike, I wouldn't recommend it. I'll stick to the turbo on the new bikes. Let's see. Eric says it's cool that you're saving all the maps from the rides. Yeah, they are really cool. I like I said, so this is my bag from the 21 Chase, in which I saved also. I'm like a sucker for like some memorabilia. I don't like to buy things because it's kind of cheesy. So I save like, these are the hotel cards. You kind of can't see them, but there's a whole bunch of them in here. And I wrote what the hotel was. So this was a Clarion in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So I'm definitely a sucker for this kind of memorabilia. I have another one in here, which these are probably maybe the first Cannonball. Yeah, these are the 18 Cannonball. And see, I did the same thing. There's all my hotel cards, a thing to Mount Rushmore, parking permit. So I like these kind of memorabilia. Let's see, Chris. Chris, you're coming on the Chase, right? So Chris Simmons is also a fellow antiquer, and she, I believe, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, is going to be doing live stuff along the ride for the Chase Facebook page. So if you guys aren't on the Chase Facebook page, get on it and follow along with us. And then I'll try to do stuff, but it's so hard along the way. Yeah, no, Chris says no clenches. I've seen a few of those tires blow off. It's scary. Yeah, me too, Chris. That's exactly why. Okay, yeah, she's gonna be doing media interviews, which I'm so glad you're coming along, Chris. Amanda, let's see, any stops in Michigan? No, so I don't know if you guys can see it, but the purple dots along here, this is my route for the Chase, as you can see, Route 66. So from Illinois over here all the way to Santa Monica. So no Michigan this year. Let's see, there was another don't mention this grim sweeper. We're staying off of that. That's right, Sean. So Sean's actually going to ride Tom's bike, which I'm ecstatic about. So him and I will be on the same bike this year, which is going to be very cool. Let's see, Drew, I'm jealous. Definitely something I'd love to add to my resume. Drew, you should come out to one of our stops. So we're going to be in Oatman. I think that's not too far from Phoenix, but Oatman is one of the stops. And then the other one is just a little bit east of Phoenix. So Drew and Ashley, you guys should come out to one of the stops. Kira, Springfield is not too far from some parts of Michigan. There you go. Good point. Yeah, so come on down to Springfield, Illinois for the start of it. That would be really cool. Is there a website where I can look at the map of the route? Yes. So if you go to themotorcyclechase.com, it will show you the map, which I had. Sorry, I uploaded the. Let me see if I can pull it up on here for you guys. The motorcyclechase.com. Route. And it actually will tell you. So if you go, it tells you all the stops and everything, which I guess it doesn't. They need to update their website. If you guys go to Facebook on Cross Country Chase, there's a couple of maps on there. And and it will tell you exactly. Let me see if I can get it real quick. I guess not. It's kind of a needle in a haystack. Um, Here it is. Okay, let me hold on. So save image. Okay, let me upload this real quick. Hold on. So that you guys can see the exact routes. Multitasking here. All right, here it is. I know it's tiny, but so Holbrook, Arizona, Drew, is the other spot in Arizona that we will be stopping. So here's the route that we're going to be going on. So if any of you guys are in these areas, come on out because we like to see people. We like the encouragement. Stephen Drago watching from a whale watch in Cape Cod Bay. That's pretty cool. Maybe a month or so ago, you could watch the whales from the beach in Plymouth, which I thought was pretty cool, even though I have lived in this area my whole life. Will we be able to live track you off the site? That's a good question, Alicia. I'm not sure. I would assume, Chris, maybe you can answer that more. Will they be able to track like where we are kind of live? Um, Alicia, if you have any suggestion on how I can do that, because I would totally share my location with people and let them know, oh, okay, Jody's here, Jody's there, to share that so that people can come out and see us. If you have any suggestion on that, Alicia, let me know. I'm in Missouri, about 40 miles south of St. Louis. So we go through Missouri, I think. Let me look at my map. Yes. We are in Rolla, Missouri. So Eric, if you are anywhere near Rolla, come on out and see us. But we have lots of live updates. Okay, cool. Hoping Jason and I can do live feeds from the route. Yeah, I hope you guys do. You should make a point to do that. Rebuilding a 1938 Indian this year. I'm working on a customer. That's very cool. Yeah, do it. So Drew, a 38 Indian will qualify for the chase, which is what we're going on. It's not old enough for the cannonball, but the chase is so much fun. So I have more fun on the chase than the cannonball because the cannonball is a little more serious and you're on an older bike, so it definitely takes a lot out of you. But all right, guys, so I don't want to take up too much time. I think that's all the questions that we got. I checked my Instagram. I see that a couple of people have chimed in that they're going to come to our stops. So please make sure that you guys come on out because we like to see people. We like for people to come out and cheer us on and all that good stuff. And also, if any of you guys are in the Salisbury area and you want to go out to the smokeout, DP is at the smoke. So that is this whole weekend. We are having a Parowitz Paint Show edition on Saturday. So if any of you guys are with a custom motorcycle, hold on, guys. I'm trying to share something real quick with you. Let's see. So if any of you guys are in the area to smoke out, go on out to that event. It's going on. I'm not sure there's much going on today, but tomorrow and Saturday are the big days. So go on out to the smoke out. And I see a lot of comments and I was kind of a little bit avoiding it, honestly, because I didn't really want to talk about it. I don't want to get teary-eyed. But one of my dad's best friends who I've known my whole life, Dave Sylvia, passed away. So I want to give a shout out to Dave, who was always there for me. Sorry. So if any of you guys knew Dave, stay tuned because we're going to have a celebration of life We haven't decided on when or where or anything yet, but if you knew Dave, you know what a huge influence he was in my life, and also being my dad's best friend. So stay tuned for more info on that. If you guys, like I said, if you knew Dave and want to come to it, please do. So I guess that's it for today's edition of Choppa History. Once again, thank you very much to Indian Motorcycles and Law Tigers for sponsoring Choppa History. And we will catch all you guys next week. Please make sure that you guys share, comment, and like on this so that we can keep going and keep bringing you stuff. Next week, I will be in Springfield, Illinois. So I'm not sure what our show will look like. So try to bear with us. I guess that's it. Thanks for tuning in today and hope everybody has a good day.